Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for May 10th, 2025. And we have a couple of things going on today. Mercury does come into Taurus. Moon is in Libra until 3:59 p.m. Eastern time, then comes into Scorpio. We are preparing for the full moon day after tomorrow. So this will bring awareness and insight into some of our hidden processes. What's going on underneath can be extremely illuminating when it comes to pointing out our plutonic processes. A lot going on with a full moon in Scorpio. So with a mixed day, when it comes to the mood, we are in pleasing, appeasing, cooperative Libra, and then we go into a much more spooky poet kind of mood. So Mercury coming into Taurus. It will be in Taurus until the 25th, and it does bring a slowdown or a more deliberate approach to how we make decisions, daily life, the news cycle, how fast information travels. It's less spontaneous and more about growing, keeping, or enjoyment rather than experiencing, frittering away, impulsivity getting in the way of what kinds of long-term solutions we want to get to. We're in earth signs, it is, especially in Taurus, it's much more intentional, deliberate, long-term. The solutions we come to are thinking, the news cycle. We take things seriously in Taurus. It's a very different month when it comes to the collective approach to news, information, how we pass on information is less about adrenaline and more about seriousness. That can be helpful. So we do have to watch out for the stubbornness in Taurus always. That's what we associate with Taurus. Yeah, tried and true. And stubbornness can be the other side of that. Or we want to do things slowly. And we can be less flexible. So watch for that. Inflexibility, coming to a conclusion and then cutting out all other sources or denying all information, because we've already arrived. That can put us in a position where we're not including everything. We can have a sesquiquadrate failure kind of happening, where we can get close and then no cigar, because we didn't include all moving pieces and parts and factors. We just developed a type of tunnel vision, especially as we're nearing the end of our goal. So, look up and around. We stop to smell the roses in Taurus for sure, but make sure you keep your eyes open after you take that big inhale. Look up and look around. Don't just keep your eyes buried in the scent, in the sensuality as we get caught up in Taurus, and you can have a failure in, acknowledging what we need to bend toward or invite in or let go of. Other than that, we don't really have real forceful exact aspects, but we are preparing for the full moon coming up here. And as the day goes on and it grows in intensity, that also grows tomorrow. And then we have that peak in on the 12th, day after tomorrow. So what realizations might we come to? What epiphanies might we have regarding what's going on with us in our dark side, the underneath? And what are we really motivated by? You can have the shadow side surge to the surface. And we have to decide what we're going to do with that. Because we always have a choice with an oppositional event. With a full moon cycle, we always have a choice. Anytime we have an opposition or something coming to that culmination point, we can choose to get the lesson and take action in implementing that lesson, because that's what happens from full moon to new moon. Of the opening realization from new moon to full moon, and then that taking action on that realization. What is it that we know now from full moon to new moon? So we have the option to not grow. We have the option to not acknowledge. We have the option to not learn. We can fall back if we want to. That's why I can take cycle after cycle after cycle. We can we can be harder headed. It can take longer to get it. But there's always the need within us to grow. And it pushes us to get ever, ever closer to acceptance and change and breakthrough. And we can have major breakthroughs when Scorpio's involved. They'll be painful. They will be painful. That's the price. Healing is painful. You have to go through that process of pain that you were avoiding so you can stay unhealed. You have to face it and go through it and get to the other side. And there can be a lot of us that turn our willpower towards that. So I'll come in and talk to you guys about this between now and then. And that's the theme of this weekend, is shedding weight, dropping the burden, cutting yourself loose. So it's a great deal of karmic clearing collectively. So, yeah, Imogene, I will come in and talk about this at some point, probably today. I'm in Vancouver, so I have time on my hands. And guys, think about what it is that you want to leave at the door. What are you ready to let go of? What kind of motivating factors are driving you from underneath? All right. Hey, we all have some thinking to do. See you later.